Round one in the books with a 9-3 decision in favor of the hometown Mariners, promising us some more good baseball to come in the matchup. Mariners bats were red hot, and they took advantage of a thinly stretched pitching staff to walk away with the victory yesterday, but now it's a new day, and the Jazz will be looking to strike back and avoid falling further in the hole.
The home roster.
It is in Jazz versus Mariners right now here on YouTube. I'll step aside for a brief never mind. I'm Donovan Mann, your voice to the Grand Lake Mariners, and it's time for Game 2 of the season and, of course, of Jazz versus Mariners here from Montgomery Field. The previous matchup was just yesterday evening, where everything seemed to come together for the Mariners, in which all but two batters who came to the plate reached, including all the starters reaching. The pitching was also on, of course, allowing only the 3 runs, registering 4 strikeouts as well. On the other side, the Jazz are having a difficult time all around. Mariners picked up a home run early via the bat of Ryan Stacy, and they just never looked back, scoring all 9 of their runs in the first 3 innings. The struggle for the Jazz is real, and it's just more than on the field. They were having roster struggles as well. They only have 5 pitchers available, and last night they had to use their left fielder on the mound to close out the 8th. We will see what kind of baseball is in store for us today, with partly cloudy going on right now. Some possible storms later on this evening, but it shouldn't affect us. We should have a good one here on our hands. Your starting lineup here for the Mariners is going to look like this. It'll be Blake Crossing batting first. Then second it'll be Ryan Stacy. Chris Miller will be batting third. Batting cleanup will be Jake McCaw. Tyson Hayes, the catcher, will be batting fifth. Batting sixth will be Jaron Morello. Jaron Lovely, then Joshua Riggs, and Jack Coney will be batting ninth. Starting pitcher for the Mariners today is Bear Bellamy, a right-hander. A little bit on the starting pitcher here for the Mariners and Bear Bellamy. He is a right-hander, of course, standing at 6'3" from T.S. Valley, West Virginia. He attends Wright State, where he is going to be entering in his senior year. He attended Winfield High before heading off to Wright State. College, he had 16 appearances this past season with 3 starts. He had a 2-2 record with 34 and a third inning pitched, an ERA of 7.324, and 25 strikeouts. In high school, he had a decorated career. He was a team captain, MVP, and All-State, City, and League, posting a 1.78 ERA and 55 innings pitched and 92 strikeouts. As a senior, he also hit .392 with 2 home runs and 40 RBIs. Also was a basketball star, from what I understand. Now for the visiting Jazz, it'll be Jared Wolf leading off as their lineup. Then it'll be Tommy Bell, the second baseman. Batting third will be Jared Kengot. Batting cleanup will be Jackson Blevins. Austin Turner be batting fifth. Batting sixth will be Austin Ulick. Patrick Smith will be batting seventh. Batting eighth is Luke Kuster, and DeAndre Davis will be batting in the 9-hole. Their starting pitcher will be Mason Fisher, a left-hander. Again, they only have 5 pitchers listed on the roster. Yesterday, the left fielder, Patrick Smith, had to go out and pitch the last inning for them. But more on Mason Fisher here, the lefty, standing at 6'4" from Richmond, Indiana. He's another hometown boy. He's one of 2 on this roster. Indiana Wesleyan is his college. He just finished his freshman season there. He's Northeastern High graduate. And that for him, he'll be looking to get this on the right. Of course, 3 of the pitchers were used yesterday. That was Stephen Poplin, Cheney Morgan, who just joined the team not that long ago, and then Garrett Welsh. All 3 righties were used. Actually, Stephen Poplin was not used. It was Titan Bennett who started yesterday for them. Stephen Poplin did not pitch yesterday. He's the other left-hander in the lineup in the bullpen. I expect them to use a position player again today. If the Mariners can come out strong like they did the other day, or did like yesterday, this should be a pretty easy game for them, but you take nothing for granted. If I were to have to make a prediction on this game, I would say that the Mariners will probably walk away with this one relatively in hand. I'm going to give them a score of 5-2, give or take a couple runs, but my prediction, it'll be a 5-2 score. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we will have the national anthem. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets and bombs, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
There was the national anthem, sung here, of course, by one of the locals here in Salina, Ohio. We'll go ahead and get you your weather here real quickly, but before we do, let's go ahead and get you some scores from around the Great Lakes Summer League. As part of a doubleheader today, the Irish Hills are hosting the Lima Locos. The first game just ended. It was a 5-2 final tally. Leprechauns walking away with that one. And the bottom of the fourth, the Lake Erie Monarchs lead 7-1 over the St. Clair Green Giants. And the bottom of the first, the Hamilton Joes, are tied with the Xenia Scouts, 2-2 apiece. Getting ready to start here momentarily. After the game, Hamilton Joes and Xenia Scouts will be playing a doubleheader. Top of the second right now, the Galleon Gators and the Licking County Settlers are tied at 0. That is the top of the second. Getting ready. Soon the doubleheader for Lima Locos and Irish Hills will start up. In the bottom of the ninth, the Cincinnati Steam are beating the Southern Ohio Copperheads 9-8. Later on today at 7:05, there are two more games going on. Cincinnati Steam and the Southern Copperheads, part of a doubleheader there. And then the Senegal Sugar Beets and the Muskegon Clippers will be playing as well. Doing some last couple warm-up pitches here before we get going underway. Just as a reminder, we will go ahead and give you the first three due up here for the Jazz of Richmond. Of course, that being Richmond, Indiana. Jared Wolf, Tommy Bell, and Jared Kengot, your first three due up. That is the center fielder, second base, and right fielder. After that, it'll be Jackson Blevins. If one of them reaches, then it'll be Austin Turner, Austin Ulick, the catcher, Patrick Smith, left fielder, and then the designated hitter, Luke Kuester, and then the third baseman, DeAndre Davis. Starting pitcher again for the Mariners is Bear Bellamy, wearing number 8 on his jersey. I'd like to thank you for tuning in and listening to us today. If you are listening, wherever you may be listening, I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of Mariners baseball. We are getting ready to go here, and up comes Jared Wolf, who led off again last game. Yesterday, he drew a couple walks, had a double in the 7th. Overall, he was 1 for 3 yesterday. Was also hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Play ball, says the ump, and here comes Bear Bellamy to deliver. Strike one called, 0-1 very quickly. Great pitch there by Bellamy to get this game underway. Currently 4:31 local time. 74 degrees out, cloudy. This one will be fouled back and just out of play. Again, there are some storms in the area, but they're expected to come later this evening, well after this game is ended. There's a small breeze out of the southwest at 7 miles per hour. It is 80% humidity. Bellamy gathers, delivers on the 0-2. This one will be outside, ball 1. 1-2 the count. Here in the top of the 1st. Here comes the gather, deliver from Bellamy. This one will be just inside for ball 2, 2-0. A little bit more on Wolf. He attends Wabash College. He's a senior there. He'll be a senior this coming year. From Terre Haute, Indiana, standing at 5'9", left-handed batter. 49 games, all starts this past season. He cracks this one right out to the second baseman. Throat flips it over to first for a 4-3 assisted ground out, and the first out of the inning. He hit that one right over there to Van Aker, who's actually, it's Jack Coney today starting on second base. Jack Coney gathered that one up, threw it over to McCall on first base, and now we've got Tommy Bell wearing number 1, second baseman, coming up. Bellamy delivers. Strike 1, hitting the heart of the plate. Tommy Bell yesterday, he grounded into a couple plays. He was overall, though, 1 for 4 with a single in the 5th. Did not get to see in the 9th. Bellamy delivers on the 0-1. It'll be low inside, ball 1. Bellamy sets at the belt, steps, throws. This one will be fouled right towards the third base dugout in the opposing team dugout to make it 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tommy Bell from Kettering, Ohio, standing at 6'1", attends Old Dominion, where he just finished his freshman season. He's an undecided major. He attended Fairmont High for his prep years. Here comes the set deliver. This one will be just outside for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Bell appeared in 42 games, including 38 starts, hitting .235 with 9 RBIs this past season for college. Here comes the set delivery, a big swing and a miss. And that'll be a strikeout in the first one of the season there for Bear Bellamy. This will bring up Jared Kengat. Batted third yesterday as well. He had a 2 RBI double in the 3rd. Other than that, he grounded out and flew out, so he was 1 for 4 yesterday. But not a bad start to his season. Bear Bellamy sets, gathers, delivers. This one will be just a little bit low for ball 1. Bear Bellamy has not missed by much today when he is missed. But it's just early on going right now here in the first inning. Here comes the set deliver. This one will be just a little bit inside for ball 2. 2-0. Only real defensive change from yesterday to today for the Mariners is that they switched Chris Myers and Blake Crossing. Blake Crossing was on third base yesterday. Chris Myers was the shortstop. They switched him here today. A big swing and a miss there from Kengat to get the first strike. 2-1. Jared Kengat appeared in 24 games this past season. Ball 3 is just a little bit low. He stands at 6'2", right-handed batter from Addison, Texas. Southern Illinois Carbondale is his college. Had 17 starts with 24 total appearances, hitting .292 with 8 RBIs, 1 home run, and an on-base percentage of .390. Here comes set deliver from Bellamy. This one will miss, and we will have a 2-out base runner after Bellamy walks Jared Kengat to bring up the cleanup hitter, Jackson Blevins, the first baseman. Blevins was batting cleanup yesterday. He drew a walk. and then struck out in the 6th. In the 3rd, he popped out, and in the 8th, he flew out, making him 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk. Here comes Bellamy to deliver. This one will be cracked right off the bat. Will go into left field, giving chase and getting just down. Runner advances from 1st to 2nd. He's going to go all the way around 3rd, and he will make it easily. And then running from 2nd to 3rd, so it will be a triple there for Jackson Blevins. It would have had to been a perfect throw there from the left fielder in Joshua Riggs, but he couldn't quite get to it. Couldn't quite get it. The runner beat him out. There was a hop, and thus the runner advances from 1st to 3rd, or 1st to home, and then allowing, of course, then Austin Davis to get the 2-out RBI triple. So the Jazz will take the early 1-0 lead, and to bring up Austin Turner, the shortstop. Austin Turner played second base yesterday as he looks at ball 1. He was 1 for 3 yesterday with a single in the 6th. He also walked back in the 2nd. This will be his first look at Bear Bellamy, as a big swing and a miss there. Make it 0-2. Bellamy gathers at the belt. Sets, delivers. This one will be fouled back past the first base dugout and over my head here. My view, by the way, if you were wondering, is along the first base line. We're about halfway between home plate and first base. You got a pretty good view of the field here. I'm used to batting, or from viewing behind home plate when I broadcast at Bowling Green State University, where I attend college, but this view is just fine. Here's a pitch, and it will be foul tipped back, and Bellamy will get a new ball. The field here at Montgomery, the entire infield is artificial. Even the dirt is artificial. The outfield is natural grass, but the infield is artificial, allowing weather to not cause too much harm. And that will be strike 3 called. A perfect pitch there by Bellamy, but a one run does score on the triple from Jackson Blevins, and we will head to the bottom of the 1st. 1 run scored on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. Hello, welcome back out to Montgomery Field, the site for today's matchup between the Grand Lake Mariners and the Richmond Jazz. Starting pitcher for the Jazz today will be Mason Fisher, a left-hander. Fisher, 6'4". He is a Richmond, Indiana native, so doesn't have to travel far to get to practices and to his home field. Indiana Wesleyan is where he attends. He just finished his freshman season. He's a Northeastern High graduate. It's where he went to prep, where he did his prep years. First up here to face Fisher will be Blake Crossing, the shortstop, followed by Ryan Stacy, and then Chris Myers, the third baseman. Blake Crossing, yesterday he was 1 for 4. He did have an RBI double in the 3rd yesterday. He also had a sacrifice RBI in the 2nd. Crossing wearing number 3. Wearing number 10, I should say. He'll be facing pitcher number 24. Crossing attends Dartmouth College. He's a junior there. He studies biochemistry from Newman, Georgia. He attended Newnan High. This one will be outside ball 1. Blake Cross had 33 games, including 32 starts this past season, with a .319 average, which was second on the team, 11 RBIs, and a .435 on-base percentage. Here comes the set deliver. This one will miss outside from the lefty. 2-0. Your count. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will be a little bit high, but they will call it a strike. 2-1. Here comes the set, gather, deliver from Fisher. You'll step off and retry. Here comes the delivery. He'll miss inside for ball 3, 3-1 the count. Here comes the gather, set, deliver. And this one will miss low for a leadoff walk, so Blake Crossing will reach base safely. Bring up Ryan Stacy, the center fielder, who had a home run back in the first inning last game. Other than that, that was just about all he did, making him 1 for 5 yesterday. Did not draw a walk. He struck out in the second looking, and a couple flyouts to go with that as well. Wearing number 636, Crossing, or correction, Stacy, left-handed batter from Sugar Land, Texas, Texas San Antonio. He played in 56 games with 48 starts. He shows bunt, and he ended up getting hit by the pitch there as he showed bunt and kind of hit him on the hand. So now make it a no out, 2 base runners, man on first, man on second, after Stacy was hit by the pitch, to bring up Chris Myers, the third baseman. Again, Chris Myers played shortstop yesterday, but today he'll play third base. Myers yesterday was 0 for 4, but he did draw a walk and had a stolen base back in the 6th. But make him officially 0 for 4 in the series and on the year. Chris Myers wearing number 40. Check back to second here by Fisher. Here comes the set delivery. He'll hit, strike 1. Chris Myers attends Toledo, University of Toledo, that is. He's a sophomore there. Business major. He's from Miamisburg, Ohio, where he attended Miamisburg High. He had 41 games this past season, hitting .278 with 2 home runs and 18 RBIs. Check back to first. Here comes the set throw. This one will be cracked right up the gat, and this will allow Crossing to round third, and it looks like he will go ahead and score to tie up the game. Ryan Stacy just advances to second, so we have a tied game now, 1-1 here in the bottom of the first on an RBI single by Chris Myers to bring up Jake McCall. Jake McCall did not hit yesterday. This will be his first at-bat of the season and of the series.
Oh my God.
McCall wearing number 50. Standing at 6'3", left-handed batter from Bloomington, Illinois. Attends Illinois State. Check back here to second from Fisher. Now here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will hit the plate, strike 1. He just finished his freshman season there. He's a business major. He attended Normal Community High. Had 14 games with 12 starts this past season. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. A big swing and a miss. Runner advancing to third, and they will pick him off. Ooh, no, they're going to call him safe. Looks like he was out here for me, but it's actually going to be a double steal as Chris Myers moved over to second. So now 2 runners in scoring positions. Still no outs. I thought he might have been out, but better angle there from the ump than I am. So a double stolen base there. Now 2 runners in scoring position. Here comes the set, gather, deliver here. This one will miss high fastball. Ball 1, 1-2 your count. Runner on third is Ryan Stacy, who's hit by a pitch, and then Chris Myers had the RBI single, stands on second now after the double steal. Fisher gets his sign, sets, gathers, delivers. This one will be low and in the turf for ball two. 2-2 now your count. And again, for Richmond, they would rather see their starting pitcher be able to get a little bit deeper into the game than yesterday's starting pitcher was able to. Yesterday's starting pitcher, Titan Bennett, only went 2 2/3. Did not get very far into the game. And with a thin pitching staff like they have now, they certainly want to see better than this. This one will be foul tipped at the plate and then roll harmlessly over towards the first base dugout. Still 2-2 now the count.
Something simple here. Anyway, I'm now.
McCall was a 2-year starter back in high school. He hit 419 or 419. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will miss inside for ball 3. Now we've got a loaded count here, 3-2. He had hitting 419 with a 557 on-base percentage, 5 home runs, and 32 RBIs. He's unanimous All-Big 12 first-team selection as a senior. He was also the team MVP and also had a conference title. His brother Luke plays baseball at North Central. This will be cracked right off the bat to first base, allowing a runner to score and a runner to advance to third. So Jake McCall with the sac RBI there. Sacrifice ground out RBI. To put just one down now in the inning to bring up Tyson Hayes, the catcher. The runner scoring on that play would be Ryan Stacy, who was hit by a pitch, showing a bunt that got hit on the hand. Tyson Hayes due up now. Did not appear in this previous game as Logan Adams started at catcher. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. It'll miss for ball 1. Tyson Hayes, right-handed batter, standing at 6 feet tall from Aurora, Colorado. Illinois State he attended Grandview High in high school. He's a construction management major here. Strike 1. Right catches the outside of the plate for 1-1 now the count. Hayes did not appear this past season in college. He was a 2-year starter in high school, though, batting .471 and a .627 on-base percentage as a senior. Or overall, that is. Strike 2 as this catches the outside of the plate. And despite it being a strike, the catcher and the pitcher are going to have a conversation here. Probably got crossed up on some signs there. Just a brief conversation, say, how you doing? I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. The Richmond Jazz jerseys look like the baseball version of the Seattle Seahawks jerseys. They've got that blue, they've got gray on under their arm and down their side, and then the bright neon green letters. Fisher will gather. Only one out. Sets, delivers. This one will be inside ball 1 or ball 2. Tyson Hayes, as a senior, he hit .410. .471 was his overall batting average. And the big swing and a miss here, so down goes swinging is Tyson Hayes for the first strikeout of the game for Bear Bellamy and the second out of the inning. This will bring up Jaron Morello. He's the designated hitter. He appeared in the game yesterday, taking over Fitzsimmons in the designated hitter. He had a single in the 8th, which was his only at-bat, making it 1-for-1 on. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will be missing. Ball 1, missed high. 1-0 the count. Morello, the 6th man to bat in the inning. Sets, gathers, delivers. This one misses high and inside again. These are like right at the face, too. 2-0. Wearing number 48 is Morello. Left-handed batter standing at 6'1". And this one will be tipped off the bat. He tried to check his swing, but it just kind of made contact with the bat, went straight to the backstop. And so now the count is 2-1. 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. The Mariners lead 2-1. This one will be swung at and foul tipped straight back to even up the count at 2-2. Morello, 6'1", left-handed batter from Valley Falls, New York, attends St. Leo College, where he's a senior this coming season, business management major. He actually transferred from St. Joseph's. He was hitting .234 as a sophomore and was second-team All-American. Here comes set, gather, deliver. This one will be inside. Ball 3 to load up the count at 3-2.
On now. Here we go for it.
Fisher having to work in this inning, certainly not what he wanted to see. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will be hit right off the bat, heading towards center field, and the play will be made by the center fielder and Jared Wolf to get out of the inning. Rolled in an F8, and we will head now to the top of the second with the Mariners now on top, 2-1. In that inning, there was 2 runs scored on just 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. You are listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball here from Montgomery Field. Coming out for his second inning of work, it will be the starter, Bear Bellamy, the right-handed pitcher, having a relatively easy inning. He struck out 2, including 1 swinging, 1 looking. He did walk 1 pitcher, then allowed up the RBI triple, but he still got the 2 strikeouts, and he'll be ready to go. He'll be facing up against Austin Ulick, the catcher here. First up, Austin Ulick, yesterday didn't register a hit. He was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Wearing number 7 is Ulick. From Southern Illinois Carbondale, here comes the set, gather, deliver. He misses. He hit a Washington Community high for his prep years. He appeared in 49 games this past season with 42 starts. This one will be struck right at the third base dugout, and I felt that one underneath me. Wherever it hit, I felt a little kind of vibration through the floor. I'm right above the first base dugout, so if you hear some conversations through the crowd, Mike, that would be the Mariners team underneath me. I try to keep it low enough so that you can still hear the bats but not hear their conversations, because sometimes their conversations involve words I don't necessarily want on air. As Bear Bellamy will miss inside here for ball 1. It is 1-2 now the count. Most of the time they're just out there. You can hear them encouraging their teammates, cheering them on, but sometimes you hear conversations that contain words that don't belong on air. Here comes Bear Bellamy with a set, gather, deliver. This one will be low, ball 2. 2-2 now the count.
1-8, let's go, kid.
Finish up here on Austin Ulick. He was 49 game appearances with 42 starts, hitting .231 with 17 RBIs and an on-base percentage of .346 as he takes a big hack but comes up with nothing but air to go down swinging the second strikeout of the day for the starter, Bear Bellamy. And he'll bring up Patrick Smith, the left fielder, who did spend some time on the mound yesterday, as well as playing out in left field. Yesterday, officially, Patrick Smith was just 1 for 2 with a single in the 5th. He walked twice, though. Ball 1, he'll miss here, Bear Bellamy, so make it 1 ball, 1, no strikes. Again, your score is 2-1 here. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. Bear Bellamy will get him swinging this time. 1-1, he went swinging for nothing. Patrick Smith from El Dorado Hills, California. Standing at 6 foot tall, left-handed batter. He attends Purdue, where he's an organizational leadership major. Got to be entering his 2nd year this coming year. Oak Ridge Hills was his high school. Missing here now, ball 2, 2-1 the count. did not make an appearance this past season. He lettered 3 years in high school, though. He was a first-team All-American, or first-team All-Metro, missing here ball 3. First-year All-Metro.
There you go, hey, pour some something here.
As well as the first-team All-City honoree. And he was an All-City honoree. As a senior, 3-time Sierra Foot League champion. And this will be strike 2 here now called as it just catches the edge of the plate. Here into 3 championships for his league while in high school. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. And a big swing and a miss. Down goes swinging is Patrick Smith. So back-to-back strikeouts now for Bear Bellamy. And we will now bring up Luke Huster, the designated hitter who started out in DH yesterday until getting moved out to left field when Patrick Smith was called to the mound. Overall yesterday, Huster was 1 for 2 with an RBI single. He walked and was hit by a pitch as he foul tips this first one to make it 0-1 very quickly. He did have that RBI single in the 6th yesterday. He also struck out in the 4th, walked in the 3rd, and was hit by a pitch in the 9th. And strike 2 now here as Bellamy catches him looking. So 0-2 now the count. Bellamy is finding the edge of the zone here today. Doing a good job and gets a big swing and a miss so he will strike out the side. Or I thought he was struck out the side. I thought there was a tip early on.
1-2.
I guess not. It's 1-2. Must have missed something. This will be low now for 2-2. Thought when I looked down reading Huster's stats, I thought I heard a bat make contact with the ball. Maybe it was down below me. This one will be a set cracked right over to the shortstop crossing, thrown over to first base to get the ground out. So he doesn't strike out the side, but he does get the side to go 1-2-3 as Luke Huster grounds into a 6-2-3 assisted ground out. And so we will, in that inning, there were no runs scored on no hits, no errors, and no man left on base. We will head now to the bottom of the 2nd, where Mason Fisher will be ready, coming up to face Jared Lovely, the right fielder, Joshua Riggs, the left fielder, and then Jack Coney, the second baseman, or the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Mariners. You're listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Hello, welcome back out to Montgomery Field, where it'll be Jaron Lovely back coming up now here to face the starter and Mason Fisher, the left-hander. Yesterday, Lovely was 1 for 3. He was also walked in the 5th. He had his single in the 3rd. Lovely playing right field today like he did yesterday, wearing number 43. Standing at 6'1", left-handed batter. Here comes the delivery. This one will miss the play a little bit low, ball 1. Lovely from Salersville, Kentucky. I think that's supposed to say Slayersville. Might have been a typo. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. Big swing and foul tipped back and out of play. He attends Marshall, where he just finished his first season there. He's a cytotechnology major. Goes the set, gather, deliver. This one will be high for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. In college, he made 1 start and 17 total appearances, hitting .250 with a .368 on-base percentage. This one will be another foul tipped and will pop out of play, making now 2-2. Lovely trying to pick up right where the Mariners left off in the previous inning, getting 2 runs, including a RBI single and a sac RBI on a ground out play. Only 1 strike for Bellamy thus far. or correction, for Fisher. Another big swing and foul tipped back. 2-2 now the count. Fisher gets assigned what he wants, sets, gathers, delivers. This one will be swung at, popped up just into shallow right field. Catch made there by the second baseman and Tommy Bell. And there's one away. And so this will bring up the left fielder and Joshua Riggs. Joshua Riggs had a 2 RBI double and also struck out as the first pitch misses. 1-0. 2 RBI double was his only hit in the game, making him 1 for 2. He was also hit by a pitch which brought in a 1. This will be catching the outside low part of the plate for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Here comes this pitch. This one will catch the plate right on the knees. So for strike 2, 1-2. Mason Fisher now having a pretty stable inning now. Of course, he only does have one batter, but he's got up here now on Josh Riggs. Josh Riggs will hit this down the third base line. Easy play there by DeAndre Davis. And just getting out the speed of Josh Riggs. So it'll be ruled a 5-3 assisted ground out to bring up Jack Coney, the second baseman. Jack Coney did appear. He only had one at-bat, and it was a single. He pinched hit for Van Aker, the second baseman, yesterday. And now we have another chance here, looking at ball 1 on the outside, 1-0. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will be a check swing, but it'll hit the outside of the plate anyway, so strike 1, 1-1 now the count.
This pitch, come now.
Here comes the gather, deliver. And he will check on his swing. They will appeal, and he did go around, says the first base umpire, to make it strike 2, 1-2. One, two, the count. 1 out or 2 outs here in the bottom of the second. 1-2 the count. 2-1 your score in favor of the hometown Mariners. This one will be a high fastball. Will miss, so make it 2-2. Here comes the delivery. And it'll miss high to load up the count at 3-2. Count is full. Fisher looking for a money pitch here to get himself a 1-2-3 inning. Will set, gather, deliver. And this one will be high for a 2-out walk. And so Jake Coney will walk to bring up the top of the order, and Blake Crossing, the shortstop, will now be due up, wearing number 10. He walked in his previous at-bat back in the first inning. Reminder, he was 1 for 4 yesterday. He had a couple of 3 RBIs to his name, including an 2 RBI double and a sacrifice RBI. Left-hander will check back over, and Fisher make sure that Coney will stay at first. And now here comes the pitch, high, ball 1. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will be low into the turf, having to run back first, almost getting caught in between. But he does get back safely as Coney. After the throw over from the catcher. Make it 2 balls, no strikes. 2-1 still your score here in the bottom of the second. 2 outs. Man on first is Coney. He reached via the walk, just a bat to go. Here comes the delivery. This one will miss inside for ball 3, now 3-0 count. And Fisher, after getting the first 2 outs rather easily with the pop out and the ground out play, now struggling. Throw back here to first to make sure that Coney stays. put, and he gets back safely. Coney getting a pretty decent lead off. Nothing too extreme, but he does get a decent lead off. And this one will miss here on 4 straight pitches. Blake Crossing will get his second walk in as many innings and many at-bats as well. And this will bring up Ryan Stacy, who was hit by a pitch after he showed a bunt. It was hit on the hand. So there are 2 on now with 2 outs. Score still 2-1. Ryan Stacy, the center fielder, will have another chance at it. He did have that home run back in the first inning yesterday, and might be looking to do the same thing here today now with 2 on and really break open the score, as it is only 2-1 right now. Here comes the delivery. This one will hit the outside of the plate for strike 1. 0-1 the count now. Jack Coney will take his lead. Gets his sign, likes it, does Fisher, checks back to second. Takes another look back to second. Here comes the delivery. This one will be a big swing and a miss from Stacy. I guarantee you he was taking home run on that one, as that was a big swing. Or at least he was thinking an RBI. But doesn't get a hold of it at all for 2 strikes now, 0-2 the count.
1-6.
Stacy did have 15 doubles this past season in college. And 32 total RBIs. Here comes a miss outside for ball 1. 1-2 now the count, 2 outs. Runner on first, runner on second, 2-1. Your score. I'd like to thank you for tuning in if you're listening with us here today. It's currently 5:07 current time. We are in the bottom of the second with the score 2-1 in favor of the Mariners. Here comes the delivery. This one will be foul tipped straight down and then bounces towards the first base dugout. Count remains 1-2. Ryan Stacy was a 3-time letter, and he was a 2-time first-team All-District and in high school. Check back here to second. One more check back to second. And then stepping off will be Fisher. Quite didn't like what Coney was showing there with the delivery, so you'll make him run back, scamper back to second. And then right back to getting his lead will be Coney, as Stacy will get it, or as Fisher will get a new sign. Lefty versus lefty here. Here comes the delivery. This one will be popped up. Looks like it will get out of play and head just towards the concession stand along the third base line past the fence. I think it hit the batting practice cage that they've got over there, that they bring out onto the field when, of course, there is no game going on. Count remains at 1-2. Ryan Stacy doing a good job here of keeping himself alive. He likes the pitch. He gets. Fisher will check back in second and deliver. This one will be hit off the bat pretty well. Will head out to right field and be made right at the fence, so rule it an F9. And that'll be the inning. So in that inning, there were no runs on no hits and 2 men left on base with no errors. Next up to face Bear Bellamy in the top of the third, it will be DeAndre Davis, the third baseman, then head back to the top of the order where it'll be Jared Wolf, then Tommy Bell, the second baseman. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball here, live from Montgomery Field. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners here. Mariners on top, 2-1 here as we head to the top of the third. The hit count is even at 1-1. Due up for the Jazz here in the top of the third to face Bear Bellamy. It'll be DeAndre Davis, the third baseman, followed by the center fielder in the top of the order, Jared Wolf, and then Tommy Bell, the second baseman. DeAndre Davis yesterday did not register a hit, making him 0 for 4 yesterday. This one will be cracked, swinging at the first pitch, right to the third baseman, and Myers flips it over to the first baseman in McCall, and one away very quickly here in the inning. One pitch, one out on the assisted 5-3 ground out. This will bring up the leadoff hitter, Jared Wolf, center fielder. He grounded into an assisted 4-3 play yesterday, second base earlier. Again, yesterday he did register the one double back in the 7th inning as he looks at ball 1. Yesterday he was officially 1 for 3. He also grounded into the game-ending double play as well yesterday. He walked and was hit by a pitch as well. Ball 2 here as he misses again. 2-0 now the count. Some clouds starting to show up in the area here, but nothing looking too ominous and threatening as though they might carry rain, just more grayness. This one will hit the plate right at the knees for strike 1. 1 and 2. 2 and 1 now the count. This one will be strike 2 to even up the count. 2 and 2.
We're gonna win it now. All right.
Here comes delivery from Bellamy. This one will be hit off the bat into center field. Should be an easy routine play, and it is for Stacy to rule that an F8. And there are 2 away in the inning to bring up Tommy Bell, who struck out in his previous at-bat in the top of the first. And again, Bell only registered 1 hit, being 1 for 4 yesterday. He had the single back in the 5th in the last game. 2 up, 2 down for the Mariners and Bear Bellamy. Bear will deliver. And this one will be a first pitch swinging, but this one will go down the third base line and slice out of play. And somebody will go chase that and return it to the dugout. 0-1 the count, 2 outs, 2-1 your score in favor of the hometown Mariners. Here comes the set, gather, deliver. This one will bounce in the turf for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Bear Bellamy having a rather easy day getting through these batters. This one will be low for ball 2. 2-1. No real shift put on here by the defense, all pretty standard, including the depth. This one will be hit right at the second baseman, and Myers flipped over to McCall to end the inning. Rule that a 4-3. Assisted ground out. And so the Jazz go 1-2-3 in this inning with no men left on base, no runs, no hits, no errors. So we will head now to the bottom of the third. Due up for the Mariners, it'll be Chris Myers, the third baseman, Jake McCall, the first baseman, and then Tyson Hayes, the catcher. They will go and face up against Mason Fisher, the left-hander. When we come back, you are listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Hello, welcome back out to Montgomery Field. This is Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners. Mariners currently lead 2-1 after having a 2 A two-run first inning. Only one run scored for the Jazz, and that was also in the first inning. Chris Myers will come up. He had an RBI single as part of that two-run first inning. He plays third base today. He played shortstop yesterday.
Yeah, 4 hit something 4.
Chris Myers yesterday did not register a hit. 0 for 4 with a walk. He also had a stolen base as the first pitch here from Fisher misses for 1-0. Here comes the set gather deliver from Fisher. This one is low into the turf for ball 2, 2-0. There is somebody warming up in the dugout or in the bullpen for the Jazz. It is a left-hander, and it's the big swing and a miss here from Myers. First strike, so make it 2-1. Is the only other left-hander in the line or in the roster currently for the Jazz is Stephen Poplin. Didn't get 6'2" from Alabaster, Alabama. Missing outside here for ball 3, 3-1 now the count. So I will assume that it is Poplin, though I cannot see the number, and unless they've got a position player warming up in the bullpen, I will get you more confirmation on that. Big swing and a miss here by Myers to make it now a loaded count at 3-2. Here comes the set gather deliver from Fisher. This one will be hit by Myers right at the second baseman and then thrown over the first, but he overthrows him for at least extra bases. Sliding into 2. And this one goes out to center field. Almost wants him to try to consider running over to third for the high pitch from first, but it didn't go quite deep enough into center field. Go ahead and rule that a throwing error. So no hit there. I will register that an E2. Conversation here between the pitcher and catcher very quickly. Maybe just buying some time for the warm-up there. This will bring up Jake McCaw, who scored an RBI on a sacrifice ground out, the first baseman, wearing number 50. Here comes the delivery. This one will hit the plate for strike 1. 0-1 now the count. Runner on second reached on the error. None away here in the first inning. And this one will be thrown high for strike for ball 1. McCall, the left-handed batter, facing the left-handed pitcher. Check back to second, making sure that Myers stays put. Now here comes the delivery. This one will be popped up and will get out of play past the fence for the second strike at the at-bat. 1-2 now the count. Jake McCall yesterday did not have an appearance and is now 0 for 1. A long look back at second before here comes the delivery. This one will be grounded right back to the pitcher, who has a hard time handling it, but does get it over to the first baseman for 1 away. So rule that a 1-3 ground out. Assisted play to bring up Tyson Hayes. Fisher does get that over to Blevins, though, for 1 out. Still 2-1, though, here. Tyson Hayes, right-handed batter, struck out in his previous at-bat in the first inning. Very cloudy day here in Salina, but not too bad temperature-wise, as this is low ball 1. I'll get you some updates on some scores from around the league. As Fisher gets his sign, we'll gather. Check back at Myers on second. Take a double take. Triple take. And now he'll deliver. This one will be at the knees for strike one. The Lake Erie Monarchs currently lead 13-5 in the bottom of the sixth. In the top of the sixth, the Joes and the Xenia Scouts are tied at 2. The Graders now lead 3-0 over Lickington County in the bottom of the fourth. In the second part of the doubleheader between the Locos and the Irish, it is 2-2 in the bottom of the third. Fisher's going to step off here to make sure that Myers doesn't run. The bottom of the ninth, the Steam lead 9-8 over the Copperheads. That game is just about over. And that is all the scores here currently going on for the games for the Great Lakes Summer League. This one will go out to left field, slicing foul, still in play, and making the catch, I believe, was the left fielder, and it was in Patrick Smith, so he flew out into foul territory to make him now 0-2 on the day for Tyson Hayes to bring up Jared Morello, the designated hitter, who flew out to center in his previous at-bat, wearing number 48 again. And again, Morello did not have an at-bat yesterday either, making him 0-1 on the season and 0-1 in the series and 0-1 on the day. 2-1 is still your score here. Man on second is Chris Myers. He reached on an error. And a big swing and a miss here from Morello. He was thinking of driving in that run with one swing. Didn't get it there, but he'll have a couple more chances. So now the count is 0-1. I'd like to thank you all for listening in today. I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners. Cloudy day here in Salina, but not too bad elsewise for the weather. I'll look back here to second before here comes the delivery from Fisher. This one will miss inside for ball one. 1-1 now the count. Get to some Major League Baseball scores now. The Pirates lead the Cubs after 8 at 7-1. After 6, the Astros and the Rangers are tied at 6. Kansas City Royals and Athletics in the top of the 5th are tied at 2. In the middle of the 4th, it is 3-2 in favor of the Dodgers over the Braves. White Sox beat the Red Sox 5-2. Here comes the delivery from Fisher. Big swing and a miss to make it now 1-2. Jared Morello now down to the hole, 1-2. White Sox beat the Red Sox 5-2. Mariners beat the Rays 5-4. Phillies beat the Brewers 4-3, and then later on today we'll have the Yankees Mets. Mets are favored in that one. Check back here to second by Fisher. Here comes the set, gather, deliver, big swing and a miss, and down goes swinging will be Morello to end the inning. So on that game, in that inning, no runs scored on no hits. The one error, one man left on base. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Due up next for the Mariners to face up against what will either be Mason Fisher or a new pitcher. We'll get confirmation on that. But due up, or correction, for the Jazz to come up and face Barrett Bellamy, it will be Jerry Kangot, Jackson Blevins, and then Austin Turner due up for the Jazz. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball here from Montgomery Field. So there's a new pitcher on the mound here for the Mariners. It is now Jordan Beekier, the right-hander. Bear Bellamy went 3 innings, allowing just the 1 run. It was earned on just the 1 hit. He walked 1 batter and struck out 4. So Jordan Beekier now will take the mound. He will go up against the middle of the lineup. And he'll throw a strike here at the top of the strike zone. 0-1. Beekier was scheduled to be the starter against the second game against Portland Jazz, or the Portland Rockets, I should say. He was scheduled, but that game only went the half of inning. He did get to pitch, and he had a pretty good appearance now as he hits again for 0-2. And quickly down in the hole is Jared Kengot, so the book is closed on Bellamy. Here comes the delivery here. We are in the top of the 4th. And he'll miss with that one to make it 1-2. Some people not liking the call on that one as it was just a little bit off. 1-2 to count. It's 2-1 in favor of the Mariners. Here comes the gather delivered. A big swing and a miss, so Beekier will get Kengot to go down swinging to bring up the first out, and Jackson Blevins will now come out with the first out taken care of. Beekier, that was what he was showing against the Rockets, the ability to find the strike zone and get guys to swing and miss, and that 1/2 inning we saw from him, of course. Blevins got an RBI triple in the previous inning. Here comes the delivery. This one will hit the outside of the zone for strike 1, 0-1 to count. A little bit more on Beekier here. Right-hander, 6'4" from Millbury, Ohio. He attends Findlay, which is just south of Bowling Green in Toledo, as this one is down and actually hits the batter. Hit him on the foot. So Blevins will be hit by a pitch to bring up now Austin Turner. People below me in the dugout, if you could hear them through the crowd mic, were kind of questioning that call. Usually you can tell. I couldn't tell. I thought it was just slowing in the dirt, but I guess he hit the foot. So 1 man on base now with 1 out. It's 2-1 still in favor of the Mariners, and Beekier will continue to go to work, this time against Austin Turner, the shortstop, who struck out looking his previous time up. This one will be high miss, ball 1. Beekier had 18 appearances for Findlay, with 3 starts, going 39 1/3 inning with a 4.58 ERA. And 3-0. In high school, he was a first-team All-League and Pitcher of the Year, All-Press pitcher. As this one cracked off the bat, going foul, and I believe out of play. My view cuts off a good portion. I cannot see the bullpen for the Mariners at my angle, nor could I see how that play went on, but he got it out of play, I'm guessing. So now 1 ball, 1 strike. He was an All-League. He was a Pitcher of the Year, All-Press Pitcher of the Year as well. He was 9-3, which is the school record for wins with a 1.03 ERA and 104 strikeouts in his high school career. Throw back here to first to keep the runner of Jackson Blevins in check. And he gets back in time. Here comes the delivery. This one will hit the zone for strike 2, now 1-2. Austin Turner down in the hole to Jordan Beekier. Beekier will now check back. First, will set, nods, delivers. This one will be struck right up the third baseline, and it will cut foul. So the count will stay at 1-2. Austin Turner unable to advance again. Austin Turner did strike out his last time up. Yesterday he drew a walk. Also had a single in the 6th. Overall on the day he was 1 for 3. One and 2 your count here. 1 out with a man on first. The man on first's name is Jackson Blevins. 2-1 your score in favor of the hometown Mariners. Beekier will look in to get his sign. We'll check back over to first. We'll set. Deliver. Swing and a foul tipped back. The runner was going there whether you like it or not. But with the foul tip back, it is a moot point. And Jackson Blevins will have to go scamper back to first now. First 1-2. 1-2 your count. Beakier will step on the mound. Get ready. Likes his first sign. We'll take a look back at first. Delivers. This one will miss for ball 2. 2-2 now the count. Mariners are up 2-1. Reminder that they won yesterday 9-3. I gotta imagine Fisher probably might not return here for a 4th inning of work for the Mariners, but we will get confirmation on that. Here comes the delivery. This one will be fouled straight towards the dugout below me in first base line, and we will do it again. The count's still 2-2. Now we're going to have to take a timeout here, as it looks like Austin Turner may have twisted something wrong there. He is bending over in a little bit of pain right now. He's actually holding his head. Both coaches have gone to talk to him, and now here comes the trainer. Assistant coach is going to have a conversation now with the umpire. Just gotta make sure he is okay. Go ahead and get you some update from other sports going on right now. WNBA right now. The Liberty beat the Fever 78-75 earlier today. At the end of the first, the Sparks lead the Skies 26-16. Get you some update here quickly on league scores and if there are any to give. And it looks like Turner will continue. He shook it off. He'll step back into his batter's box. Reminder that the Irish Hills Leprechauns did beat the Lima Locos earlier today 5-2. At the top of the 7th, the Lake Erie Monarchs lead 14-6 over the St. Clair Green Giants. Check back here to first from Beakier. Now he'll look in here to get his signs. Bottom of the 6th, the Hamilton Joes lead 3-2 over the Xania Scouts. That'll be part of a doubleheader that they'll have earlier on today. The Galleon Graders. Here comes the set deliver. This will be struck out to right field. It'll be get down for a hit. And just a single, and advancing to second will be Jackson Blevins. So a one-out single now here for Austin Turner to bring up Austin Ulick. Graders lead 4-0 as I continue this. Top of the 5th. Lima Loco and Irish Hills are tied at 3 on the top of the 4th. This is the second game of the doubleheader. In the bottom of the 9th, it is still 9-8 in favor of the Cincinnati Steam over the Southern Ohio Copperheads. And then later on today, Cincinnati Steam will play the Copperheads as part of a doubleheader. And the Senegal Sugar Beets and the Muskegon Clippers will also play. Ulick struck out in his previous at-bat back in the 2nd. Beakier will set deliver. This one will be struck, hit pretty well, but will slice foul. That was a pretty good swing there from Euchre. Just cut foul. Might have left the park if it had given a chance. Score still 2-1. Man on first, man on second. Man on first is Jackson Blevins. Austin Turner, the man on first. Here comes the delivery. This one will be low and outside for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Reminder that Euchre yesterday was 0 for 4 with a strikeout and a couple of flyouts. Look back, and here comes the delivery. This one will be high for strike for ball 2, 2-1. Ulick standing at 5'10" from Washington, Illinois, attends Southern Illinois Carbondale, attended Washington Community High. This one will be popped straight up, but it will get out of play. First strike number 2, though. It's 2-2 now the count. 49 games with 42 starts, hitting .231 with 17 RBIs and a 346 on-base percentage. He's transferred from Illinois Central College, where he was hitting 304 with 29 RBIs in his one season there. Check back to second before Beekier delivers. This one will hit. It'll be strike 3 called. So down goes Looking in the second strikeout of the inning here for Beekier. And there are 2 away. Score is still 2-1 now. Man on first and man on second still. It'll bring up Patrick Smith, the left fielder. It's where he started yesterday before he was moved onto the mound in the 8th inning to try to finish up the game for the Jazz, and he did. Even registered a strikeout as well. 2-1 still your score. Two hits though for the Jazz, only 1 for the Mariners, as this is a foul tipped back for strike number 1, 0-1. Beekier working a little bit harder than he thought he would have to in this inning. Check back over to second. Double take, triple take. Here comes the delivery. This one will be swung and struck into center field. Playing it on the hop, rounding third, and here he comes. The play will be made. He won't make the catch, and he will be safe. If he had held on to that ball, boy, Jackson Blevins might have been out because the throw was on time. But instead, it popped out of his glove as the slide came in, and so now we have a tied game on the RBI double there by Patrick Smith. Boy, that was a good throw there by Ryan Stacy. He looked like he might have been able to get him, but the ball just popped out of the glove of the catcher in Hayes, so just ruled an RBI double. The score is now tied at 2-2 here. Still 2 outs with a man on third and a man on second. Now the man on second is Austin Turner, and the man on third is Austin Turner. Man on second is Patrick Smith. Strike 1 here, catches the outside of the plate from Beekier. So both pitchers here for the Mariners have given up a single run so far to make it 2-2. Mariners also had 2 runs back in the bottom of the first. They'll be looking to respond here, but first Beekier has to get this last out. He gets the knee-high fastball to make it 0-2. Beekier will look in. Says yes to the first pitch. Looks back at second. Takes a double take. And delivers. This one will be down and in the turf, but blocked there well by Hayes to keep it in front of him. Now 1-2 the count. Tried to get him to go fishing at the one in the dirt, but didn't get it. Or rather, in the turf. Beekier looks in, says yes to the first pitch, looks back at second, takes his double, triple take, and now delivers. This one will be a high fastball, will miss to make it 2-2. I tell you what, looking at that pitcher's mound, after every game they go in and they sweep it down just to get the pellets to settle back into the turf. You know, the little rubber pellets that go into artificial turf. And every game, the pitchers just kick up more and more because a lot of their power, you know, for pitchers comes through the legs, and they just kick up a lot of that black turf. As this one will be low and outside for ball 3 to make it now 3-2, and another good block there by the catcher in Hayes to keep it from getting away from him and allowing a run to score on a wild pitch. And the same basic thing happens at home plate too, not quite as much in the batter's box though. Good thing though about the artificial turf is you really don't ever have to brush off home plate like you would on dirt. Take a time to, you know, get the little broom out from the umpire's pocket and brush off home plate. Here comes a delivery from Beekier. A big swing and a miss to get him out of the inning. It'll be his 3rd strikeout of the inning, but damage done there on the RBI double from Patrick Smith. So in that inning, there was 1 run scored on a single hit, or actually on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. It'll be Mason Fisher coming back out to the mound here to pitch against the Mariners in the bottom of the 4th. Due up for the Mariners, it'll be Jaron Lovely, the right fielder, followed by the left fielder and Joshua Riggs and Jack Coney. You are listening to Mariners Baseball. We will head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll take a brief break first. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Montgomery Field here. It'll be Jaron Lovely due up. Wearing number 33 in his previous at-bat. He popped out to the second baseman. Yesterday, he was one of the guys not pinched hit for. He was 1 for 3 with a walk and also had a single. It'll be Fisher to continue working. Then he'll throw this one inside and low for ball 1. Fisher, the left-hander, starting. There is still a man warming up out in the dugout. Actually, I believe I just caught a flash of the back of his number. It was number 25, which is actually a field position player. Or perhaps a new player that I haven't quite seen on the roster yet. Perhaps it wasn't 25. I'll get confirmation on who it is, but there's no 25 listed on their roster yet. Here comes a delivery from Beek here on the 2-0. Or, correction, from Fisher on the 2-0. It'll be strike 1. So now 2-1 your count. Here comes the delivery from Fisher. This one will be hit off the bat pretty well. Will go out into right field, cutting foul. And it'll be caught in foul territory for out number 1. So Jaron Lovely will go down. Will go down for the second time today. And this will bring up left fielder Joshua Riggs. 0 for 1 on the day. Grounded out in the previous at-bat in the second inning. Riggs yesterday was 2 for 1 with a strikeout. He also had a 2 RBI double as he looks at strike number 1 to make it 0-1. He was also hit by a pitch which brought in a run yesterday. 0-1 though now the count. Here comes the delivery from Fisher. It'll be a fastball at the knees for strike number 2. 0-2 the count. Here comes the delivery. And here we hit by a pitch again today. So back-to-back games where he will get struck by a pitch. This one looked like it hit him right above the knee. I'm sure he'll feel that one later. But he'll take his base with 1 out. And this will now bring up the second baseman, Jack Coney, who walked in his previous at-bat back in the second inning. Reminder that we are in the bottom of the second right now. The score is tied 2-2. Jazz have 3 hits to just 1 to the Mariners. Jazz coming off a day in which they led they won 9-3 yesterday. Coney will look back, or Fisher will look back. He will deliver high ball 1. Checking his swing was Coney. Runner on first is Joshua Riggs. He got a decent lead off, but got back. So 1-0 is your count. Here to Coney. Check over to first from the lefty, and a throw back to first just to make sure that Riggs doesn't run off. Riggs slides back in. Look over to first. Riggs will get his pretty standard lead off, nothing too major. Keeps looking over at first is Fisher, and now time is called here by Jack Coney. Mariners will be looking to answer the 1 run scored in the top of the 4th, like they did in the bottom of the 1st after the Jazz struck first. This will be ball outside for ball 2. 2-0 now the count. Jazz and Fisher on the mound right now. He did start in his 4th inning of work. So far gone 3 1/3. And then Riggs will move over, and the throw down to the turf hops up into the glove, and Fisher will be able to go and stand, or Riggs will be able to go in standing after the low pitch from Fisher. Now there's a runner in scoring position after Riggs stole a base. So Jack Coney now with a runner in scoring position with a chance to open this one back up and get the Mariners back in the lead. But first, he just love a hit. Reminder that Coney did have 1 at-bat, and it was a single yesterday. He pinched hit in the 7th inning for Van Aker. This one will be a high fastball, almost gets away from the catcher, but it'll just instead walk Jack Coney. And so now with 1 out, there are 2 men on base as Coney takes his 2nd walk of the game to bring up Blake Crossing, who has 2 walks in this game as well. Blake Crossing was walked back in the first and second one, so no official at bat for him today. He'd love to actually get his bat to the ball, but before he does, we will have a pitching change here today. And so we will step aside briefly. We'll tell you about the new pitcher after the break. You're listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Hello, welcome back out to Montgomery Field. The new pitcher for the day is Stephen Poplin. Listed online, if you go online and look at their roster, he's listed as 16, but he's wearing number 25. And in their lineup that they gave us today, he was listed as 25. He's a left-handed pitcher, side armor, from Alabaster, Alabama, attends Valdosta State, where he'll be entering in his junior season. With only one out and runner on first and runner on second, who are both, by the way, Mason Fisher's responsibilities. He'll be back here to face the Blake Crossing in the top of the order. So the book is not closed on Mason Fisher, but he only did go. He went 3 1/3 inning before being replaced. He'll get you the rest of his stats after this inning. So Poplin will step on. Second left-hander of the day to pitch for the Jazz. Poplin will look in, will gather at the letters, at his face really, and deliver. It's a sidearm pitch. He'll get it in there at the knees for a ball for a strike one. 0-1. Score is still 2-2. With one out here in the bottom of the fourth. Here comes the delivery. This one will be strike 2 to Crossing. And now Crossing is down in the hole 0-2. After being walked in his first 2 at-bats, he probably didn't want to see Fisher go up against him again, especially since he would probably be primed to try to strike him out. When you do that, you almost force some pitches, and then you leave a good old salami for him to hit. This one will be hit right up the bat, though, right to the shortstop, flip it over to second for 1, and then back over to first for the double play to end the inning. So it will be a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. In that inning, there were no runs scored on just no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. We will head now to the top of the 5th. Due up for the Mariners, it will be due up for the Jazz. It will be DeAndre Davis, followed by the top of the order, Jared Wolf and Tommy Bell. Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball. Donovan Mann here, the voice of the Mariners. Close the numbers here on Mason Fisher, the left-hander. He went 3 1/3 inning with 2 runs, both of them earned on 1 hit, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Due up now here to face Jordan Beekier in his second inning of work. It will be DeAndre Davis, the third baseman, who grounded out in his previous at-bat back in the 3rd inning. Beekier will set, deliver. This one will be right at the knees of the inside of the plate for strike 1. Here comes the delivery from Beeker again. This one will be low near the plate for ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Beeker in his second inning of work, he has already registered 3 strikeouts. He struck his all 3 outs from the previous inning, as this one is inside for ball 1. 2-1 now the count. Beeker will set, gather, deliver. This one will be struck off the bat. It'll head out to right field, and making the catch it will be for Jaron Lovely. And 1 away here. DeAndre Davis goes out on the F9. Go back to the top of the order. It'll be Jared Wolf. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and a fly out in the 1st and 3rd. Jordan Beekier already with 3 strikeouts on the day. Mentioned that he struck out the first batter he faced, then hit by a pit, then he hit a man with the pitch, allowed a single, then got another strikeout, allowed the RBI double, and then got another strikeout. This one will be right at the belt for strike 1, 0-1 the count. Here comes the set delivery. This one will be foul tipped and out of play. 0-2 now the count quickly now here to Jared Wolf, who has not registered a hit today. And in the series, he has registered only 1 hit, which was a 2-out, 2 RBI double in the 3rd of last night's game. Here comes the delivery to Wolf, and once again he'll foul it back and out of play. 0-2, and the umpire is going to need more baseballs here soon as he calls over. Beekier will now look in, get his sign, likes what he sees. He will deliver. And this one will be high outside for ball 1. 1-2 now your count. He likes his signs. He will deliver. And this one will be strike 3 called, so the 4th strikeout of the day. This one going down looking. And a strong showing here for Beekier, as he will be now looking to get the 3rd out here in the top of the 5th. And his next victim, or opponent I should say rather, will be Tommy Bell, the 2nd baseman. 0 for 2 on the day, struck out in the 1st and then grounded out in the 3rd. Here comes the delivery from Beekier. This one will be a little bit outside, I guess. Thought it looked pretty good to me, but the umpire will call it, I guess, just outside. Beekier will deliver now his 2nd pitch of the at-bat. This one will be struck right over to the 3rd baseman, flipped over to the 1st baseman on the 5-3 assisted ground out. And so it's a 1-2-3 5th inning. And so no runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. We will now head to the bottom of the 5th. And it'll be Stephen Poplin. He will go up and face now Ryan Stacy, the center fielder, Chris Myers, 3rd baseman, and Jake McCall, the 1st baseman, due up now for the Mariners. Reminder that the score is 2-2. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners baseball. We head now to the bottom of the fifth. Ryan Stacy, Chris Myers, and Jake McCall due up for the Mariners. They will be going up against now Stephen Poplin, who got the last 2 outs in the fourth inning for the Mariners, or for the Jazz. Ryan Stacy was hit by a pitch in the first inning when he showed bunt, and then he flew out, making him 0 for 1 on the day. Wearing number 36 is Ryan Stacy from Sugar Land, Texas. He will be going up against Poplin for the first time today. Poplin left-hander reminder. Play says the umpire, and so Poplin will get his sign. He will gather, and he will deliver his sidearm pitch. This one will be hit right up the first baseman. Coming in is the first baseman. He's touching the bag. And so Blevins will get the unassisted ground out. Roll the new U3. And 1 up, 1 down now here for the Mariners. Coming up now will be Chris Myers, the third baseman. He had an RBI single back in the first. He reached on an error by the second baseman on the third. Here comes the delivery. This one will be inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Here comes the delivery. This one will be a fastball inside at the knees for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. 1 out. Reminder that your score is 2-2, tied up here. This is the bottom of the fifth. Here comes the delivery. This will be low and outside for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. Matchup lefty, righty matchup here. This one will be struck off the bat well of Chris Myers, but it'll go out into center field and be caught by the center fielder and Jared Wolf for out number 2. Rule that in F8. And now Jake McCall will come out now, the first baseman, with 2 out, nobody on. Get you some updated scores here from around the league soon. But first we'll handle this first pitch here from Poplin. Poplin will set, deliver his sidearm lefty, and having to get out of the way of that one was McCall, as that one came very close to him. Instead, it'll just be ball 1. Lake Erie Monarchs lead 14-6 over the St. Clair Green Giants at the top of the 8th. Here comes the delivery from Poplin. This one will be on the plate. Strike 1, 1-1 now the count. Top of the 8th, Hamilton Joes lead the Xania Scouts 3-2. They'll be playing a doubleheader here as the game scheduled 30 minutes after the first one will take place. And now McCall will be hit by a pitch on the hip. And a one out base runner will be awarded, and Tyson Hayes, the catcher, will now be up for the Mariners. Galleon Graders now lead 5-0 over the Licking County Settlers in the bottom of the 6th. At the top of the 6th, Lima Locos and Irish Hill Leprechauns still tied at 3. Later on today, Cincinnati Steam and the Southern Ohio Copperhead will be playing a doubleheader. Don't know what happened to their first game that was listed on here earlier, but I guess after I updated it, it disappeared for some reason. Strike 1 called here. 0-1 now the count now to Tyson Hayes. Here comes the delivery. This one will be inside, ball 1, so 1-1 now the count. Senegal Sugar Beets and the Muskegon Clippers will also be playing later today. Poplin will gather after he gets his sign. He will set and deliver. This one will be on the inside of the plate at the belt. Strike 2, 1-2 now the count for Tyson Hayes. Run out, or 2 outs, base runner at first after Jake McCall was hit by the pitch. 2-2 is your score. We are only in the bottom of the 5th. Check over to first. The lefty does. Throws a sidearm pitch. This one will be hit right at the first baseman, who will get another unassisted ground out for Blevins. And so in that inning, there were no runs scored on no hits, 1 man left on base, no errors registered. That'll head now to the top of the 6th, then due up here for the Jazz to face what I believe will still be Jordan Beeker. We'll get confirmation on that. Due up to face Jordan Beeker, it is him coming out to the mound, will be Jared Kingott, Jackson Blevins, and then Austin Turner, the shortstop. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. I'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners, here today. Jordan Beeker out now back for his third inning of work. He's already registered 4 strikeouts on the day. He'll be facing Jared Kingott, who he struck out at his first appearance and his first batter faced in this game. It was the first time those two faced each other. And then he'll be facing up Jackson Blevins, who he hit back in the 4th, and then Austin Turner, the shortstop. Beeker now with a chance to continue his rather dominant performance. He did let up an RBI double earlier back in the 4th, but in the 5th inning he showed he was on, getting the first batter out with 1 pitch and then striking out the next. But here comes Kingott, the right fielder, to face up against Jordan Beeker, who again started and pitched the only half inning we played against Portland Rockets last Thursday. Strike 1 delivered here on the outside of the plate. 0-1 now the count. Quickly to Kingott. Here comes the gather and the delivery here from Beeker. That'll be swung and foul, tipped straight back into the backstop for 0-2. And this is what Beeker is capable of when he can get on, and he has shown in his half of inning of work against, or his inning of work against Portland. And now here his 3rd inning of work against Richmond. Here comes the delivery. This one will be a high fastball. Trying to see if he could get him to go fish. Did not. 1-2 now the count. Reminder that your score is still tied 2-2 here. Mariners trying to go up 2-0 in the season and put the Jazz down 0-2. Beeker will set and deliver. This one will be strike 3 called. With a good fastball that catches the high side of the plate for the 5th strikeout today from Beeker. And so this will bring up number 12, Jack Blevins, the left-handed hitter. He's hit by a pitch in his previous at-bat and then had an RBI triple in his first at-bat. This one will be struck right up the bat. Trying to make a diving stop was the second baseman, but it'll roll out into center field. Lovely will gather it up. You got to credit there Coney for trying to dive and get that play, sacrifice his body and go through the turf, but didn't, so it'll be a 1-out single there to Jackson Blevins. That's Austin Turner, the shortstop, will now be up with a 1-out base runner. He struck out in the 1st inning and then got a single off of Beeker in the 4th inning. Beeker will look in, get his sign. He'll take his glance over to first to make sure that Blevins won't run. He throws back to McCall at first to get, and Blevins will slide back in safely. 6:04 local time here in Salina, Ohio. Slight breeze through the area. Cloudy and cool. This one will be foul tipped back and out of play. 0-1 now the count. Beeker will take a breath. He'll look in. Take his check back to first. He will throw back to first. And getting back in time will be Jackson Blevins. He doesn't get too much of a leadoff, so I don't quite know why he's throwing back that direction, other than just to keep him. But he takes a pretty short leadoff in general. Now I say that, he gets a bigger one. And this one will be foul tipped towards the 3rd base dugout, hit up against the fence. 0-2 now the count. Blevins will trot his way back over to first, and we'll do it again. 0-2 the count. Here to Austin Turner, the shortstop, who is 1 for 1 on the day and a hit by pitch and an RBI triple. Looks, sets, gathers, delivers. And this one will be at the belt. Strike 3 called, the second strikeout of the inning. And the now 6th. Can you believe that? 6 strikeouts here for Beek here, showing himself to be a strikeout pitcher. Be the second one of this inning, and this will bring now Austin Ulick, the catcher. 4 of the strikeouts have been out looking too here for Beek here, so he's getting people fooled as he drops his fastball right in at the top of the zone. Here comes the swing. Swing, foul tip straight back from Beek here's fastball. 0-1 now the count. 2 outs here in the bottom or top of the 6th. 2-2 is your score. 4 hits for the visiting Jazz. 1 hit for the hometown Mariners. It's been a very controlled game here. Pitching has been a lot better so far for the Jazz. Throw back here to first, getting back in time is Blevins. And so we'll set again. Looks back, checks back, nods, says yep, looks over to first. And the throw. This one will be struck well and it'll go foul though along the third base line and end up rolling into the opposite bullpen. Now 0-2 quickly the count. Out ahead of that one was Ulick. Last time Ulick faced up against Beek here was earlier in this game. He struck out looking as well. We'll see what happens here. This one will be low down in the turf for ball 1. 1-2 now the count. Beek here had a pretty good day so far on the mound. Might be his last inning of work. I think I hear somebody throwing in the bullpen. I can't see because of the ankle I'm at and there's a wall there. Runner's heading, but it doesn't matter. Going down, swinging is Ulick, and that'll be the 3rd strikeout of the inning and the 7th on the day for Beek here. So in that game, there was no runs scored. In that inning, there was no runs scored on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on base after the 3 strikeouts from Beek here. 2 of them were looking. And so now we will head to the bottom of the 6th. 2 up now for the Mariners. It will be Jaron Morello, the designated hitter, followed by the right fielder, Jaron Lovely. And then the left fielder, Joshua Riggs. You are listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back out to Mariners Baseball. Donovan Mann here, the voice of the Mariners. It is 2-2 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Mariners held a 2-1 lead after 1, but then it got tied up in the 4th inning. And so that is where we are now. It'll be Stephen Poplin back out here now to face Jared Morello, Jaron Lovely, and then Joshua Riggs. That's due up now here for the Mariners. It is a left-handed pitcher. Poplin, the second left-handed pitcher to pitch for the day. Here comes Jaron Morello, number 48, designated hitting for the day. 0 for 2 thus far with a strikeout. For 2 on the day is Morello. No strikeouts registered yet by Poplin, but that could change as the day goes on. This will be strike 1 down at the knees. Showed bunt, but then pulled it back. Here comes a delivery from Poplin. This one will be outside, ball 1. 1-1 now the count. Poplin will gather, deliver. This one will be foul tipped down and then over down to the first base dugout. 1-2 now the count very quickly. Here comes the delivery. This one will be outside, ball 2, 2-2.
Within my first 2 at bats, I'd say an inch left.
Poplin delivers. Swing and a miss, and down goes swinging will be Jaron Morello for out number 1 in the inning. 1 up, 1 down. Jaron Lovely now, the right fielder, will come up. He's popped out and flown out in his previous 2 at-bats. Jaron Lovely from Slayersville, Kentucky, 17 appearances with 1 start this past year, hitting .250 with a .368 on-base percentage. He was also a pitcher back in high school. He was 7-2 overall, as we've got a low fastball here for ball 1. Here comes the delivery. This one will catch the plate for strike 1. 1-1 now the count. Poplin will get the pitch he likes. He will set at the face and deliver. This one will catch the outside of the plate now for 1-2 the count. 1 out, 2-2 your score. Nobody on here in the bottom of the 6th.
Hey, seat up now.
Here comes the delivery. This one will just miss outside, make it ball 2, 2-2. Here comes the gather, and he'll deliver. And this will be strike 3 called as it catches the inside of the plate. And so the second strikeout and the second batter faced here in the 6th inning. Poplin having a good inning now as it's been 2 up and 2 struck out. To bring up Joshua Riggs, the left fielder, nobody on, still scored 2-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. It is actually a pinch hitter. Number 44, Hayden Cart, will now come out for Josh Riggs. Strike 1. Oh, 1 now the count as the strike 1. Here comes the set delivery. This one will be struck right over to the second baseman. He will gather it, flip it over to Blevins at first. So it'll be a 4-3 ground out assist. And so 1-2-3 inning there for Poplin. And we will head now to the top of the 7th. In that inning, there were no hits, no runs, no errors, no men left on base. You're listening to Mariners Baseball. I said we head to the top of the 7th. Patrick Smith, Luke Kuester, and DeAndre Davis due up for the Jazz. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball. We've got a new pitcher on the mound. It'll be Jordan Peck, a right-hander. Attended Troy, Ohio, or from Troy, Ohio. He attended Troy High. He attends Charleston College, though now. He's an accounting major, just finished his freshman season, had 16 games with 28 28 and 2/3 inning pitched, a 4.08 ERA, and 18 strikeouts. He did not allow a single home run. The book is closed on Jordan Beaker. He had 3 innings pitched with one run. It was earned. He allowed 3 hits, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. Impressive day there for Beak here. I'm sure Coach will keep that one in mind whenever he decides to use him again. But on now, we will have Patrick Smith versus Jordan Peck. Jordan Smith, Luke Huster, as here comes delivery to Smith. It is low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. And then DeAndre Davis due up for the Jazz. Peck will deliver. This one will be popped straight up and will just get out of play towards the parking lot. 1-1 now the count. Patrick Smith on the day, 1 for 2 with an RBI double back in the 4th. Here comes the delivery. This one will be fouled back and out of play as well. 1-2 now the count. Smith not quite getting the barrel to the bat. He's making contact, just not getting the barrel to the bat to drive this one out anywhere. So Peck will now have the 1-2 delivery. Down in the turf for ball 2, 2-2. Two and 2 count evened up. Reminder, your score is still 2-2 here now in the top of the 7th. Nobody able to break the tie yet. This one will be hit right over to the first baseman. He will scoop it up, step on the base, and so an unassisted ground out there from McCall. And there's one away. U3, and that'll bring up Luke Huster, the designated hitter, wearing number 22. Evansville, Indiana to southeastern Illinois, where he just finishes up his first season. Had 29 games, hitting .318 as he swings at a first pitch here, but it'll roll up the first baseline foul. 29 games, hitting .318 with 22 RBIs, 4 home runs, and an on-base percentage of .378. Also had 9 doubles this past season in college, Dick Huster. In this game, he is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Here comes Peck to deliver. This will be a high fastball. Misses for 1-1 now in the count as the ball 1. Peck will get his sign. He will set and deliver. This one will be high and inside for ball 2, 2-1. Peck not quite finding the edge of the zones yet, though he's certainly trying to. In the top of the 8th, the Lake Erie Monarchs currently lead the St. Clair Green Giants by a total of 14-6. Top of the 9th is a big swing and a miss back. A big swing and a foul back to make it now 2-2. Hamilton Joes lead the Xania Scouts 4-2, top of the 9th. They will be playing a doubleheader today. Galion Graders now lead 5-3 in the top of the 7th. Licking County Settlers will be trying to make a comeback. Here comes the big swing and a miss there from Huster. So 2 up, 2 down now. As the first strikeout here of the season for Jordan Peck. Nobody on yet. Score still tied at 2-2. Comes DeAndre Davis. The Irish Hill Leprechauns have just taken a lead at home in the bottom of the 6th over the Lima Locos. They now lead 4-3. Davis on the day, 0 for 2. This one will be a first pitch swinging. It'll go into foul territory towards the fence and will either not be caught or get out of play. It went to my blind spot here where the wall is. And so 0-1 the count. Don't know if it was not caught or just got over the fence. I can't see. That's all I'm going to say. I just can't see it. So 0-1 now the count here to DeAndre Davis, who does have a lot of speed. He could try to bunt, but I don't think with an 0-1 count he would. Peck will get his sign, delivers. A big swing and a miss here to make it 0-2. DeAndre Davis now down in the hole. Peck got him to go fishing on that one as it was a little bit low. It was a good fastball, though. 0-2 the count. Here comes Peck now to deliver the 0-2. This one will be down in the turf for ball 1. 1-2 now the count. DeAndre Davis had 34 games this past season at college as he goes fishing for that one. Tried to throw the bat at and just missed, so second strikeout of the day, both swinging for Peck. And it's a 1-2-3, so there are no runs, no hits, no errors, no men left on base. And we will now head to the bottom of the 7th in the 7th inning stretch. 2 up for the Mariners. It will be Jack Coney, Blake Crossing, and then Ryan Stacy. Coming out, to continue his work will be Stephen Poplin for the Jazz. You are listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball live from Montgomery Field. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners here. We are on the bottom of the 7th now. It'll be Stephen Poplin back out to pitch. This will be his 3rd inning of work after he got the last 2 outs also in the 4th inning. And he'll be facing Jack Coney, the 9-hitter, then the top of the order, Blake Crossing and Ryan Stacy. Jack Coney, he was walked twice today in his only 2 at-bats. They give him 0 for 0 on the day. Here comes the delivery. This one will be hit pretty well going out to center field, but should be a pretty easy play there for Wolf, and it is as he makes the catch to put one down on 1 pitch. So rule that in F8. Now we will head to the top of the order, and Blake Crossing, who's playing shortstop today. He's been walked twice and then grounded into an inning-ending double play back into the 4th inning. Blake Cross left. Blake Crossing, switch hitter, batting right against the lefty. Looks at strike 1 to make it 0-1. Reminder that the score is tied here at 2-2. Here in the bottom of the 7th. Somebody just trying to break the tie, but this has been a pitcher's duel pretty much the entire game. Runs have been very hard to come by after that 1st inning. Here comes the delivery from Poplin. This one will be hit right at the 3rd baseman. DeAndre Davis will throw it over and throws it just high, and so Crossing will reach on a throwing error there. Rule that a U5. A 2nd error of the game. This will bring up now the number 2 hitter, Ryan Stacy, center fielder. Rule that an E5. That last one. Ryan Stacy, left-handed batter, wearing number 36 on the day. He reached on the most previous correction. He has not reached today, except when he was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, and then was driven in on the RBI single by Chris Myers. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out and a ground out as he looks at ball there. 1-1 the count. Check back, and now Poplin will deliver. This one will be hit right over to the shortstop, flipped over for 1, now back for 2, and he will reach first base safely. They tried to get the double play, but only got the force out at second base, so it'll be fielder's choice. 6-4. They try to get the double play back, but they were unable to. So this will bring up Chris Myers, the third baseman. Now 2 down in the inning. Chris Myers not had a good series thus far. He has failed to... He's only got 1 hit, which was an RBI back in the first. But yesterday was not a good game. He looks at strike 1 now. Here comes the set delivery. This one will be cracked right at the bat, right over the first baseman. They will get the force out over at first, and that will be the end of the inning. So in that inning, there were no runs scored, no hits, the 1 error, and no men left on base. We will now head to the 8th inning, where it'll do up for the Jazz. Will be the top of their order. It'll be Jared Wolf, followed by Tommy Bell, and then Jared Kengat, the right fielder. Jordan Peck will come out for his second inning of work. You are listening to Mariners Baseball, still tied here at 2 at home. Here on YouTube, do not touch that dial. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball. Jordan Peck ready to get his second inning of work on. Has 2 strikeouts to his name already. Jared Wolf, the leadoff hitter, due up to face him. 0 for 3 on the day with a groundout, flyout, and a strikeout. Peck will deliver. This will be hit right over to the first baseman, and then running over and flipping it over to the catcher Peck for out number 1. So we'll rule it a 3-1 assisted ground out. 1 up, 1 down on 1 pitch. So Tommy Bell will now come up. Also 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and a couple of ground outs. This one will be low and outside for ball number 1. 1-0 the count. 1 out. Still tied here. 2-2. We are in the 8th inning now, and you just have a feeling that this one just might go extras. This one will be low again for ball 2. And if it goes extras, fair to say I would like the Mariners' chances, considering the lack of bullpen that the Jazz have. They'd have to pitch position players. Not to say that it would be super easy for them to be a position player. I'm just saying a position player's not going to go out there and pitch as well as an actual pitcher. 3-0 now as he misses again, and here comes the 4th pitch of the at-bat. This one will be another high fastball missing, and so on 4 straight pitches, we've got a 1-out base runner of Tommy Bell. To bring up Jared Kengat, the right fielder. 0 for 2 on the day with a walk back in the first inning. He was the runner that was driven in the first inning on the RBI triple by Jackson Blevin. Here comes the delivery. This one will be hit very well right to right field. It'll be caught, though, by Lovely for the second out of the inning, and then the scampering back will be Tommy Bell. First pitch swinging results in the F9 to bring up Jackson Blevin, who did have the RBI triple back in the first inning. Took the only lead that the Jazz have had this entire series after they lost it in the bottom of that inning and then tied it up in the 4th. Tommy Bell getting a decent lead off. Here comes Peck to deliver for strike 1 at the knees. Some more clouds have started to surround the area now. You almost feel like maybe there might be a storm coming. You certainly don't want to see a storm come and ruin a good baseball game like we've had here today. 0-1 The count now here to Jackson Blevin, the first baseman. 2 for 2 on the day. Runner heads to second. It gets by into center fielder. Runner, however, though, made contact with the shortstop crossing and ended up getting tripped up. The throw was offline. And so he couldn't get up and try to run over to third. So now the runner is in scoring position on the stolen base there by Tommy Bell. But if you join Peck, you don't really want to focus too much on that runner. I mean, there are 2 outs here in this inning. And it's 1-1 count. You really want to focus more on the batter in the batter box right now, batting left. You'd rather just get Blevins out and not have to worry about anyone. This one will be foul tipped off the plate and then out of play down the third base line. 1-2 now the count. Peck will look back. He will set and deliver. This one will be foul tipped and this time head towards the first base dugout. 1-2 still the count. One, two the count here. Peck and Blevins now in a duel. Blevins had the RBI triple back in the first inning, and then he had a single in the 6th inning. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, making him 2 for 2 on the day. He's had a pretty good series at well. Here comes Peck now to deliver. This one will be hit fair, but will actually roll foul. Blevins did walk in the previous game, and then he was 0 for 3, or he was 1 for 3. And the rest of that game, he had a single back in the 6th, so he's had 3 hits in this entire series. Not a bad day. 1-2 still to count after another foul tip. Peck will now set. He'll look back at second and deliver. This one will be a high fastball to even up the count at 2-2. Peck will look in. He'll wave off the first pitch. He likes the second one. He'll look back. He'll deliver. And this will be a big swing and a miss here to catch Blevins going down swinging. And so that'll end the top of the 8th. In that inning, there were no runs scored on no hits, 1 man left on base, and no errors registered. We will now head to the bottom of the 8th, due up to face, probably should be, and it will be Popland heading back out to the mound. Due up to face him will be Jake McCall, Tyson Hayes, and then Jaron Morello, provided there are no pinch hitting situations. You're listening to Mariners Baseball right here on YouTube. We will be right back with more baseball. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball live from Montgomery Field. Stephen Popland due up here now to face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters of Jake McCall, Tyson Hayes, and Jared Morello, the designated hitter, provided there are no pinch hitters. We will see how, though, this goes. Score is still tied at 2-2. You just have that feeling that we might have extra bases today, the way this game has gone. Jake McCall, wearing number 50, will be batting left. You know he would just love to try to bust open this score and get a score for himself. He is 1 for 3 on the day as he looks at ball 1, 1-0. He also reached on an error back in the 3rd. Here comes the delivery. It'll be low and inside for ball 2. perhaps Poplar now starting to feel some fatigue. They do look like they have some people in that bullpen for the Jazz kind of doing some exercises, not really pitching yet. As this will be strike one, catches the outside of the plate for one and to make it now 2-1. Now here comes the delivery. Poplin, this one will be hit up the third base line, but will go just foul. So now make it 2-2. Was so close, but just sliced foul. So now it is 2-2, and Poplin will have a chance now to get out Jake McCall. Here comes the delivery from Poplin. Had a big swing and a miss by McCall. So McCall will go down swinging for out number one. 1 up, 1 down. Now Tyson Hayes. The catcher will come up. 0 for 3 on the day, including a strikeout back in the first. Tyson Hayes batting right, up against the lefty pitcher. This one will be just on the inside of the plate for strike 1, 0-1 the count.
Doing it for us right here, Tank. Come on, Tank. Come on, baby.
Here comes the delivery. This one will be just a little bit low and inside for ball 1, 1-1 now the count.
Come on. It's your pitch to drive right here. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, Tank.
1-1 your count. Poplin will set and deliver. This one will be hit. It'll be high but not far as it gets out to left center field, and it'll be caught by the center fielder, so rule that an F8 for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. Tyson Hayes will go out and be 0-4 on the day. Now Jaron Morello, the designated hitter. Correction, it'll be a pinch hitter now for the Mariners. It'll be number 18, Logan Adams. Will take over now in the designated hitter spot. So the day is over for Morello. He will end up 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Here comes the delivery from Poplin. It'll be just low. Ball 1, 1-0 now the count. If any of you all are into NASCAR, here's your top 5. Under caution on lap 130, your top 5 are Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Kurt Busch. Here's one's a big hit over into left field, but it will be caught by the left fielder. And Patrick Smith will win the inning. Rule that an F7. And that will end the 8th. We will now head to the 9th. Still tied at 2 here from Montgomery Field. It will either be Jordan Peck or a new pitcher. We will get confirmation on who that will be here in a second. It will be Jordan Peck, and now due up for the Mariners, or due up for the Jazz, it will be Austin Turner, Austin Ulick, and then Patrick Smith. You listen to Mariners Baseball, still tied here at 2 from Montgomery Field. Here on YouTube, do not touch that dial. We will be right back. Hello, and welcome back out to Mariners Baseball. Donovan Mann, the voice of the Mariners for the summer of 2018. We are tied here 2-2 at home. The Mariners will now get ready to try to defend in the top of the 9th. Still tied at 2. It'll be Jordan Peck returning for his 3rd inning of work. He will be up against Austin Turner, Austin Ulick, and then Patrick Smith are the first 3 due up here for the Jazz. And Peck will set and deliver. This one will be hit off the bat. We'll head over into right center fielder. Lovely will make the catch. And one pitch swinging and fly out. Ruled an F9. And there's one away. Austin Ulick will now step up with no base runners. One out here in the top of the ninth. Finish up that rundown of the NASCAR top 5. It is Boyer, followed by Kevin Harvick, then Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, and then Paul Menard are your top 5. Get you some league scores here in a second as Peck sets delivers. This one will be popped up and out of play down the first base line. And Peck will now set, gather, and deliver. This will be outside, ball 1. 1-1 now your count after the foul ball in the first pitch. Here comes the 1-1 from Peck. And this will be inside, a little bit high as well for ball 2. 2-1 now the count. In the bottom of the ninth, the Hamilton Joes lead the Xenia Scouts 4-2. In the top of the 8th, this one's here swinging, gets past and gets into right center field for at least 1, and they will hold him to a single as Austin Ulick looked like he was going to round, but instead steps back. So a 1-out base runner there on the 1-out single, bringing up Patrick Smith, the left fielder, who had an RBI double back in the 4th inning. In the top of the 8th, the Lake Erie Monarchs lead 14-6 over the St. Clair Green Giants. The Gralion Graders have finished up 6-5 over the Licking County Settlers. In the top of the 7th, as we look at ball 1 here from Peck, the Lima Locos currently trail 3-7 over the hometown Irish Hill Leprechauns. And those are your league scores. Here comes the delivery from Peck, a big swing and a miss. Might have been a foul tip. I don't believe it was a foul tipped at the plate.
Come back, come kids.
And now Peck with the 1-1 will deliver. This one will be fouled and popped up and will get out of play.
Next field looks right here.
Peck will check back over at first. He will now gather. He'll deliver. This will be swung right at the second baseman, flipped over to first, second back over to first for an inning-ending double play. So rule that a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. And so we will now head to the bottom of the 9th, where the Mariners will try to walk it off with Jaron Lovely, Hayden Cart, and Jack Coney. We shall see how this one unfolds. So it will either be a walk-off or we will have extra innings here. But you're listening to Mariners Baseball here on YouTube. Do not touch that dial. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball. We have a new pitcher on the mound here. It'll be right-hander Garrett Welsh for the Jazz. He did pitch yesterday as well. For Stephen Poplin, his numbers look like this. He went 4 2/3 of an inning with no runs, no hits, only allowing the 1 walk, and also struck out 3. Welsh yesterday, his numbers looks like this. He went 1 1/3, allowing only the 1 hit, no runs, didn't strike out anybody. And now we will head here to the bottom of the 9th. Due up for the Mariners, it'll be Jaron Lovely, Hayden Cart, and then Jack Coney, provided there's no pinch situations. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in with us here today. Cloudy all the way around. The clouds have gotten darker and darker throughout this game, but there has been no rain. Your score is tied 2-2. The Mariners here in the bottom of the 9th will try to walk it off, or we will have extra innings. That result is still pending, but here we go. Jaron Lovely wearing number 43 from Slayville, Kentucky. Be looking to try to start this 9th inning out right. He will look at strike 1 at the knee-high fastball. For strike number 1, 0-1 now the count. Here comes the delivery. This one will be a low ball, 1-1. One and 0-1 your count, or 1-1 your count. 2-2 your score. Nobody out here. We just started this bottom of the 9th. Here comes the delivery on. This one will be cracked off the bat, down the right field line, and out of play. And into the little wooded area they've got back there near the park. So 1-2 now your count. Here's your delivery. This one will be down and in the turf for ball 2. 2-2 now your count. 2-2 now your count here. Still tied at 2 in the bottom of the 9th. Here comes the set delivery. This one will be outside for ball 3, and now Lovely will try to become a base runner here to start the 9th. Here comes the delivery. This one will be popped up and down the third base line, but will get out of play. It's fun to watch the kids out there. I remember going to like a junior ballpark, being a kid, just, you know, want to go run and grab the baseball. I want to be the one to get that ball and give it back, you know. Here comes the delivery. This one will be hit pretty well into center field. Might get down, and it does, and it looks like it will get down for at least, and it will just be a single. And so a leadoff single here for Jaron Lovely to start the 9th inning to bring up Hayden Cart, who grounded out in his only appearance. That was a pretty well hit single too. If it had gotten by, it was a good cutoff there by the left fielder. Otherwise it would have been an out. Or I'm sorry, the center fielder and Wolf would have been an out. Or it would have been a double if he had not cut that one off when he did. So now a no-out base runner here to start the... And then it'll be a bunt. It will get down, advancing over to second. They will get the... No, it'll be a throwing error. So going from second to third now will be Lovely. And rule that... I'll rule that an error there. The third one of the game. Rule that an E5. Rule that an error. So runners at the corner. The winning run just 90 feet away for Jack Coney. And a wild pitch here could end the game. There's a lot of pressure right now on Welsh. And that one almost got away from the catcher as he had to slide there to get that one. 1-0 the count as the ball was outside. Welsh gets his sign, sets, gathers, delivers. This one is hit pretty well. Out to center field. And it will be caught by the center fielder. Tagging and coming home will be Jaron Lovely, and the Mariners will walk it off on the sacrifice fly committed there by Jack Coney. Your final score will be 3-2 here after the walk-off sacrifice fly there by Jack Coney. Your winning pitcher will be Jordan Peck. And so we will now step aside briefly. And when I come back, we'll have final thoughts, final remarks. And we will be right back. You're listening to Mariners Baseball as they win it 3-2 with the walk-off sacrifice fly here in the ninth. Be right back. Hello, welcome back out to Mariners Baseball when they walk this one off in the bottom of the ninth. 3-2. Your final score was a sacrifice RBI by Jack Coney. That was the third time he had done something productive. He had walked twice previously in this game. But if you talk about who I would make the player of the game, well, I would have to say it'd be Jordan Beek here with those 7 strikeouts holding fort. He did allow the 1 run that tied it up. But I would have to grant him, with those 7 strikeouts and the dominant performance, to only give up that 1 out. He would be my player of the game. Offensively, you would have to look at a lot of people. The run scored came from a nice distribution of players, 3 different players with the RBIs. Jack Coney, though, would be my offensive player of the game with the 2 walks. And then, of course, the walk-off sacrifice RBI. When tagging and coming home was Jaron Lovely on that play. And it was just a good game for Mariner Baseball. Garrett Welsh will be your losing pitcher here. And they didn't play. They played a lot better game than they did yesterday, the Jazz did. There's a lot of positive things to take from that. They also have to remember this isn't their complete roster. They're projected to get 6 more players here after today. On Tuesday, they're expected to have 6 more players report. So they will still continue to build their roster here. But today, the Mariners rise to now 2-0. The Jazz will fall to 0-2, and a lot more work ahead for them than there are the Mariners. That will just about conclude my broadcast for today. But before I sign off, I would like to send out just a couple thank yous. First, I would like to thank the Grand Lake Mariners staff for allowing me to coach their entire 42-game season. That includes the team, the managers, the CEO, of course, the coaches. Thank you for allowing me to come along, even on the road trips. I would like to thank Kevin McGowan, the GM of the Mariners, specifically for signing me on for this internship that allows me to broadcast each and every game for you guys here on YouTube. I would also like to thank my host family, as well as every other host family, for opening their homes up to me and the members of the Mariner team and staff for this summer. Lastly, I would like to thank everybody involved in making each and every game happen. That includes people involved with the league, all the interns here with the Mariners. Our guy Ren for Point Street Stat, I would like to thank them all, including setting up the traveling accommodations, providing a location to broadcast, doing the stats, and all that goes into making this season happen. Be sure to tune in for our next game, which will be this coming Tuesday. It'll be up against the Galleon Graders. It'll be at a 7:05 first pitch. I will have all the play-by-play action right here on YouTube again. Once again, the final score here in a walk-off victory will be the Mariners beating the Jazz by a final score of 3-2. I'm Donovan Mann, the voice of the Grand Lake Mariners. You have a wonderful night, and go Mariners.